Go. Alright, let's turn down the volume here. Okay. Get the volume right. Okay. I think we are good. Still here. Hold on, guys. Let me get this volume. Okay. Okay. Let me hit the record button, then we're gonna go. Alright, we are recording. I think that's good now. Okay. Alright, I always try to figure out which way my hair is going. Hey everybody. Thank you for joining the live YouTube chat for this week. You know what? Let me do a quick notification for everybody. Let them know I'm on. I'm coming right back, guys. I guess I should have did this before I started recording, but it's okay. Okay. Just give me 1 minute, y'all. Okay. Okay. All right. We're good to go. So this week's topic was be encouraged. There's several reasons why I chose this topic. Number one, because of everything that's going on right now. We're going to get these volumes together here. We're going to get it together. Okay, I hope everybody can hear me. There's two main reasons why I chose this particular topic. One, because I'm a member of a business group in Facebook, and the moderator posted a great question. What are your excuses that you give yourself for not achieving your goals or your dreams? And to actually see some of the responses, it made me actually quite sad. Because at the end of the day, those things can be overcome. And literally I felt bad. Because there was a time where I made those excuses. And then the second reason, because basically everything that's been going on with the media in our communities, and of course internally, we all have bad days. We're human. And my question was, how do we get through those days? Hold on, guys. Okay. 2 people are watching. Okay. They don't show me who are watching, but I'm glad you're watching. Still getting used to YouTube Live setup, because in Google Hangout I can actually see who is actually viewing. But if you can type me and say, "Hey, I'm here," that'd be awesome too. But though, like I said, those were the two reasons I chose this topic, this particular topic. And like I said, actually reading people excuses for why they don't, just go for and pursue their dreams, it was quite sad because, like I said, I remember a time where I made excuses for myself. And I think we're all here for a purpose. We're all here for some kind of divine purpose to better ourselves and better the people around us, better our communities. And, sometimes you hear these coaching gurus, they give you the excuses that people make to why they want to achieve their dreams. And you're like, oh, that sounds. But it's actually true to actually see like some of the excuses people make. Like, that's really not an excuse, because if it's something we really want to do, how frivolous it is, we'll make time to do it. We'll put in the energy to do it. So to me, the excuses that were given were not really a good excuse. But at the end of the day, those are the people that posted excuses, and I have to respect that. And also, like I said, a lot of times I don't even like watching the news anymore. And you really don't even have to watch the news. You can just get on Facebook or any kind of social media and see what's going on. And to say some people, they're not affected by it, that's not true. Either you get numb to it, or it does affect you emotionally. For me personally, it does affect me emotionally, because now I'm starting to see it from a different angle. Like, a lot of it is not making sense, and I know nothing happens in this society unless it's calculated. But that's a whole nother topic. um, so I wanted to get everyone's thoughts about what keeps you encouraged. For me, when I first started the idea of exploring a business, hands down, my daughter was my motivation. To give you a little background, I'm not going to give the long, drawn-out story. Um, my daughter had nasal issues, and her nose would always drain, and it would lead to ear infection. She would get sick, and I have to come pick her up. It was like an ongoing cycle. And this is before she had the surgery. Thank God. Now she's had the surgery. It's just like day and night. But this was before she was very young, and I would have to leave work. Like, that is my daughter, hands down. Um, I'm a mother first. And the manager I had at the time, they can't tell you, they're going to fire you, because in some instances that is illegal. But they made the hint that I was leaving too much, and that might be an option for me to leave. And at first, I was hurt and sad, because I know I worked my tail off for this lady. And I had to come to the decision that it was time for me to do something for myself and for my family. That was the birth of two of them. It has been really good to me. So I already had a background different, and it's not easy. It's not easy. Especially when you are working in corporate America. Really, really great ladies that have helped me along the way, definitely. But have I made changes in my business? Yes. Um, have I made changes in the people that initially helped me get the business on the ground? Yes. I am constantly learning, and there's days that I'm like, this is crazy, and this is hard, and I'm one of those people that come up with, the 50 million excuses. But at the end of the day, that's where the encouragement comes in. And for me, there are, really great women that keep me encouraged. But at the end of the day, you have to keep yourself encouraged. Um, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. I mean, huge believer in the law of attraction. I do not like to be around negative people. I do not like to complain. Um, Honest thoughts and complaining is two different things to me. Um, I'm not one of those people that are, why me, why me. People that personally know me know I'm not like that at all. Um, but I know in my heart I was destined to be and do more than what I was doing. So, in hindsight, Haley was probably the boost that I needed, if anything, because it was like I would start something, but this was, before my daughter, before my husband. I would start something, and then for some reason I wouldn't continue it. And I think that was a period in my time where I was transitioning to really learning how great I can be. And that is a process with everybody. Everybody is not going to get to that level, and everybody's not going to get to the level that you're at, and that's okay. So I know for me, especially in my 20s, I did not really know. I want to say 35. To really say to myself, I can become anything that my mind can muster, can the thoughts that I have in my head, I can make reality. And with patience and persistence, it can happen. I always keep some kind of visual in front of me. Um, Even if you look at my personal Facebook page, I post places that I want to go. I am a traveler. I love traveling. And I post places that I want to go. I post positive affirmations on my page. Anything that I can visually see that's positive is plastered around me. I never, and I even make this uh, a rule in my own household, including my husband. We cannot speak negatively with things that we want to do. You can't say can't. You can't say, oh, that might not happen. That might, you can't say with my luck. Any kind of negative, because anything you project out there is going to come back to you. So I'm very, I guess you could say, superstitious about what we let come out our mouths in my household, and that's another way that I keep myself encouraged. Because if you keep speaking positive affirmations out into the universe is going to give you exactly what you want. If you know, and the mind is a powerful thing. If we let something negative slip in, that's okay. But we have to feed it positivity when that negativity comes in. I know for me, for a fact, Um, you know, I didn't have the greatest childhood, and a lot of that, I know for a fact, a lot of that negativity thoughts comes from that period in time. So I have to constantly feed myself positivity. And like I said, the way I do that is with visuals. I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I'm working. Um, just feeding myself. That keeps me encouraged as well. Um, let's see what else I do. Those are the biggest things that kind of reinforce where I'm trying to go. That I constantly feed myself, and those have actually worked for me. I know that has actually worked for me because a lot of things I think about, like the goals I set last year, have come into fruition this year. The goals that I set for myself the previous year have have happened because I keep a positive outlook. And it's not easy. I'm not going to tell anybody it's not easy, especially if you've been through anything in life. Those thoughts of negativity in your past, things you've been through, things people say, you can't do this. Who are you? All that stuff creep into your mind. Sad to say, everybody is not going to be for us. And I posted that a couple of weeks ago. I don't know why that was heavy on my mind, but for some reason it was. And everybody's not going to be a part of the team. And we have to make peace with that. And that includes family, that includes friends. I'm very particular who I tell things to. I think it's so hard for people to do that because, they want their family and friends to be there and support them and say, yeah, you can do it. And 9 times out of 10, that is not the case. Um, we have some family members that, see that light in us and they support us and they're there for us. But that's not going to be the whole family. And I just was one of those people when I made peace with this is who I am, this is what I can achieve with time, with persistence. If I need to change something, I'll change it. And what I can't control at the time, but I'll work on what I can work. I became okay with not everybody being on my team. Like I said, I'm very particular who I let in as far as my dreams and my goals. Because to me, I feel like my dreams and my goals are like treasure. You don't stand in the middle of a busy, interacting intersection and say, hey, look what I got. You keep certain things to yourself, and that's the way I feel about my dreams and goals. If you show me you're not for me in some capacity, why even bother? Um, because it's like, I'll give you a good example. It's like having like your favorite meal, whatever your favorite meal is. I love seafood. It's like having a really nice seafood platter and somebody comes by and spits on it. I mean, literally, it's like you're about to eat your food and somebody comes and spits on it. And that's the same thing as you sharing your hopes and dreams and goals with somebody that is really not for you. And then you lose your encouragement in yourself because you did not pay attention to who you were talking to. To me, that's the most important thing, is being protective of what you are trying to achieve. Have the right people around you that when you're feeling down, when you're feeling discouraged, when you feel like giving up, they say, hey, do you need help? Um, do you want to run your idea, you know, And let me think about it. Let me give you some tips. Those are the people you want around you to keep you encouraged. It's not a game out here. It's not a game out here. And I think I read it was a article in Forbes or WomenEntrepreneurs.com that by 2020, the majority of small business will be owned by women, and women will be making uh, the pay gap will be increased because of women that have their own businesses. I thought that was awesome. And it doesn't. What I'm talking about doesn't, necessarily pertain to business. This is any goal you set out for yourself. That be finishing school. I have a lot of friends that are, that is their goal. They've been going to school off and on for years, and they are focused on finishing school. And bravo to them. Um, some are starting their own business. Um, some just wanting to give back more. It could be any goal, and people will spit right on your goal, and it will dishearten you. I can agree with that. But what is more important? You finishing your goal, you achieving your goal, or what people think? Because at the end of the day, even if nobody else pats you on the back, you can pat your own self on the back. Because you started something, you worked at it, and you achieved it. I mean, what greater feeling is that to say, I did that? And I got a few more minutes left. I try not to be political on here, uh, unless it's just something I just have to talk about, and I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. Um, as far as what's going on in our community, and these are just my thoughts. I think that we are being distracted. And what I mean by distracted, when you are emotional, it is hard for you to see things with a rational eye. I really like this quote from Warren Buffett, which everybody knows. If you don't know, he's pretty much a billionaire. If you can't control your emotions, you cannot control your money. And it is awesome that people have come together to protest, to show some form of unity. But at the end of the day, if you do not equate economics into a protest, you will not be heard. If you do not take your money out of the equation and you are lessening the pockets of whoever your oppressor may be, you will not be heard. And I think our problem is we are looking at things with a emotional eye, and we really need to look at what's going on. I mean, elections are literally right around the corner, and you keep hearing people saying, I'm not going to vote. You need to vote. It is imperative that you vote, and you can't be clouded by what's going on. Of course, it is a devastating act to kill somebody for no apparent reason, but also you have to ask why and take your emotions out of it. You have to see everything with a third eye. And I'm a big believer in that. You have to take your emotions out and see what's going on. And to also stay focused on it is election season. Elections are right around the corner. We are voting a new president, and for some states, we are a lot of officials are up for re-election. So to me, voting, especially locally, is power. Your money is your power. And how you choose those says a lot about who you are and what kind of change you want in your community and as a nation as a whole. So those are my thoughts on that. And at first I was really emotional when it was like um well, it never stopped, but when it recently picked up, I was very emotional about what was going on. But now I'm starting to look at things very differently. And maybe I'll do a live chat on that soon. But I'm talking to a lot of people, and I'm starting to look at things very differently right now. And maybe next week I'll talk a little bit about that and continue on this conversation. But with that, we are still got a little time left, but I'm hitting 1:30 on my clock, so I don't want to keep going too long. So thanks for joining me. I hope what I talked about is somewhat enlightening, somewhat informative. I hope you enjoyed the topic. I try to pick topics that are in the moment. Uh, Things I do plan advance, but these live chats, I do not plan far in advance because I like to talk about what's going on in the moment. It could be like um, what's on the news, what's on the media, what's going on with me, or topics I get from you guys. So these live chats I don't plan too far in advance. I like to be in the moment with these, so I can just talk freely. So with that, I'm gonna get off. Um, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Facebook Live is coming back. I think they're doing some kind of maintenance with it. Yes, especially yesterday. And no, Facebook Live wasn't a problem this day. My Wi-Fi was a problem this day. But I will see you guys tomorrow. And I hope you're having a good day. And with that, I'm going to log off. Bye.